Hi, this is Group 3, and this is for our professional development of business psychologists for our class for business psychology. And in our group would be Stephanie Moss, Mike Campbell, Scott Rose, Mattifying Candid, who is not present, Travis Hussein, and Anna Smith Thomas. The next person that's going to go would be Mike.
A business psychologist is a relatively new vocation which has and continues to evolve within the world of business. It can be integrated into many different aspects of business operations, from recruitment to management and anywhere in between. The recognition of the human relation and understanding in the most quintessential and valuable assets to successful business operation has forged the way for qualified and experienced business psychologists today. Our group presentation will attempt to explore the professional development of a business psychologist and, so doing, demonstrate the merit of this dynamic profession. Next slide. Education and certification. Certification is designated credentials earned by an individual to verify their legitimacy, competence, and to perform a job. As far as education, most of the times we reached our pinnacle by attending a four-year school, and most have post or graduate schooling. Education is continuously evolving. It's continuously needing update, continuously needing growth. It is everlasting. Certification shows our strive for greatness. Next slide. With that being said, certification comes in the form of the American Board of Professional Psychology, which is the umbrella of the American Psychological Association. The ABPP, which the acronyms for, or the letters is for, is a unitary governing body of separately incorporated specialty examining board, which assures the establishment, implementation, and maintenance of specialty standards and examinations by its member boards. A wide range of administrative support services is provided through the ABPP boards, the board certified specialists, and the public. So a specialty is defined as the area where the practice of a psychology that connotes special competency acquired through the organized sequence of formal education, training, and experience. The American Board of Professional Psychologists recognize it as an organizational consulting business psychology, and that's why it has the specialty. So the letters is ABOBCP, American Board, but it's mostly recognized by just the OBCP, the Organization Business Consulting Psychology. Next slide. Studying abroad. Studying abroad, it offers more certifications than what the ABPP has. Over in the United Kingdom, they have three different levels. Theirs is more of the ABP business psychology certification. It provides a route for members to achieve the business psychologist status, showing evidence of experience, expertise, and competencies. In those three levels, you have certified business psychologist, certified principal business psychologist, and you have the fellow of associates for business psychology. Next slide. To obtain those many different certifications, you have different ways, which the certified business psychology demonstrates a broad understanding of some aspects of the approach, philosophy, and practice of the business psychology. Individuals may work in a supportive role with experienced colleagues or mentors, and they may function as a part of a team. The certified principal business psychologist demonstrates a thorough knowledge of the key psychology or psychological principles of understanding, designing, managing people, processes, and organization. Where you have the Fellowship Association for Business Psychology, these candidates, this level will have a sustained record of leadership and influence of business psychology and will actively champion business psychology. In these three levels, their core areas that they look at and they focus on is business psychology area is selection and assessment, strategy, organizational effectiveness, learning and development, behavior science, human motivation and well-being, the consulting cycle, which is advice, diagnose, design, implement, evaluate, professional business practices, commercial acumen, laws, ethics, diversity, and ABP values, which is being inclusive, being accessible, promoting business psychology, demonstrating best practices, building capabilities. Now, each of these certification comes with a cost. Of course, the OBCP basically works on coursework, continuing education to be approved, an approved applicant. You got to have 2 years of postdoctorate or any type of postgraduate. And you got to have 3,000 hours of relevant experience. Where the other CPP is a cost of 3,000 and 6,000 initial fee, where the cost for the fellowship is $1,560 fee, and that's on top of the schooling. But this will continue the education that you need to be successful within the industry. And next we have Anna to talk about experience.
Thanks, Mike. Preferably, a potential business psychologist should have, but is not limited to, some experience in a related field such as industrial organizational psychology, which is a field that focuses more on individuals and their own workplace issues. Unlike business psychology, it's all about the bigger picture to achieve business success. Relevant business consulting experience, where applicants can demonstrate a proven track record of success in implementing effective business solutions. A business psychologist also needs soft skills. These include high empathy. The field of business psychology is people-centered, so empathy must be at the heart of everything that is done. Good communication. These skills are generally necessary for everyone, but more so for a business psychologist. Communication skills such as public speaking and writing are imperative. Active listening. Business psychologists need to deeply understand the needs facing individuals as well as organizations, the first step of which is listening. Dedication to learning and teaching. Many business psychologist jobs will require training and teaching others. Being a good teacher requires you also to be a lifelong learner, as the field is continually evolving. Critical thinking and problem solving. Finding solutions to problems, whether individual or organizational wide, is a big focus for a business psychologist. Unbiased investigations of workplace issues and determining solutions that are right for the objective of the organization. Calm under pressure. By nature, a business psychologist must work in stressful environments. Changes within an organization bring tension among employees. A business psychologist has the opportunity to bring a sense of calm to situations that are otherwise uncomfortable. Ability to work with all. Business psychologists must be capable of communicating effectively with people of a diverse range of ages, genders, ethnicities, and much more. I will now hand you over to Stephanie, who will talk about job opportunities.
Thanks, Anna. I'm going to talk about job opportunities. As we already spoke about certificates and experience, everybody wants to know about job opportunities. What's out there? What, after I get my degree, what can I do? So there are 6 career paths in business psychology that are very up and coming. Industrial counselor, human resource executive, marketing executive, corporate consultant, human factor specialist, college professor, and tech jobs and analyst, and things of that nature. Next slide, please. The next slide talks about like just the job data, like what the earning is. So the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics says by 2026, the job growth will increase by 14%. And industrial psychology jobs will increase a growth of 8%. So as you can see here, the hourly rate wage is the medium is like $66 going all the way up to $100, and the annual wage is $210,000 a year. So that's pretty good, with an employment means of a rate about 12%. So everybody's probably really excited about that. So we can go to the next slide. And then basically, like Anna said, how can like we advance in our jobs? Advancement is with the certificates and the experience, and just knowing, like being confident in who you are as a leader and in these positions. Pay is nice, but we all know that to advance in a job, you have to have also just the mind and sound of, okay, how do we decrease job dissatisfaction, depression within the job, and high turnover rates. So in Franklin University, they put a article out, and it's called "What is Business Psychology?" And it's a deep dive into the thriving field, which is a great read. So if you want to know more about that, you can go to Franklin University. But basically, it's about getting a degree in business psychology and professional advancement in management and executive leadership. And it talks about pay, better job stability, and increased employment opportunities. And that is all for my presentation. And I'm going to hand it over to Scott, which gets more in depth about the roles. Thank you.
So we all have different personalities and brain profiles. We don't want to leave anybody out. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to explore a few of the endless opportunities of working as a business psychologist and how you can love your role. We'll first look at some of the possibilities with executive leadership, and then consider organizational culture, and finally explore some of the change management. Next slide. As a business psychologist, you have the opportunity to serve as an executive leader. They can use their techniques and knowledge of psychology to influence and empower the workforce in many different positive ways. Next slide. They can direct employees by providing guidance and influence, and helping them achieve various goals and objectives. You can create processes that encourage creativity and productivity. And you can monitor that process and help people change direction as needed to make sure that it moves more smoothly. Next slide. You can work with a team and conduct strategic planning. You can lead them towards achieving the vision. You can oversee employee programs that foster employee development, employee well-being. There's a plethora of ways that you can use your skills in an executive leadership role. Next slide. Business psychologists also have the opportunity to work with creating and maintaining an organizational culture. Next slide. They can use their knowledge to define what that ideal culture of a company looks like, and you can outline it. You can establish and execute a plan strategy to really hone in on what that ideal culture is. You can explore the company's core values, the beliefs, the systems, the attitude, and determine what rules that you want to have in place. Next slide. You can work with recruiters. Make sure that you hire the right people to grow your brand. You want to make sure you have the right people in the right seat. You can monitor and guide people of the organization to ensure that they're behaving in a proper manner. Understanding how the mind works can be a vital tool in creating and maintaining the organizational culture. Next slide. A business psychologist can take advantage of the opportunity to manage change. They can work as a change manager or simply oversee the change management in their role. Change within an organization is inevitable and it can be difficult to execute. Organizations may have to have a change in process or market segments, staffing, leadership, or even working with the technology. Change is often greeted with resistance and it can have unintended consequences, so it should be handled with care. Next slide. A business psychologist can implement the process by utilizing a change management model. You can design, execute, implement, and monitor the change, for example. You can create programs and processes to aid the personnel that struggle to adapt. Next slide. You can help individuals by utilizing the SCARF model when introducing the potential changes. You can consider the status, certainty, autonomy, relatedness, and fairness. You can oversee the process of change throughout until it becomes the norm and the majority has reached acceptance. Next slide, I mean. The opportunities for a business psychologist are unlimited, and the knowledge and skills acquired can be used in almost any leadership role to coach or guide both individuals and teams to reach their goals. You'll be able to implement and manage change, foster the ideal culture, and impact many different facets of any organization. And I'll turn it over to Travis to talk about brain personality assessments.
Hi guys, good day. Well, our group did a brain personality assessment to understand what strengths that we have in order to overcome challenges within our group and getting this paper forward. So from the brain personality assessment, it was discovered that we had different strengths. For example, Mike was strong in communicating and within the technological field as well. Anna was leading, Stephanie was detailing, Modifying was supporting. I did a little exploring, and Scott was controlling. So what does that mean? From gaining understanding from other members' brain personality assessment, it correlated with how our group organized ourselves in distributing task objectives. That maintained communication with the flow of information and the construction of our project, fulfilling our goals of handing in a great quality paper within the suggested time frame. From the start, Mike welcomed the team as a business professional development crew, which is great, as it gathered information on what our preferences were in communicating and what day and time we would best be able to schedule for our weekly meeting. Gaining feedback, Mike announced that recurring Thursdays at 7 p.m. was the most preferred time. The Zoom meeting was set up and we met from understanding the strengths of each quadrant. Mike displayed innovation as he integrated ideas and concepts in solving the problem of how do we communicate from an international standpoint with a logical, technical reality. Stephanie made links for a recurring meeting afterwards and offered to record the meetings of record the minutes of what was discussed and agreed upon. She ensured that information was posted that made it easier to monitor our progress from reflecting her strengths with the clusters. This showed her passion of gathering facts, measuring and recording and storing data in a logical manner that would make it easier to communicate and transfer this information to the other team members, which she did perfectly. She was detailed in keeping track of data that made it easy for other members to follow, and even guys who missed the meeting were given a direct message of what was expected of them. Scott was controlling, but in a good way, as information, process, and updates were examined and double-checked, ensuring that individuals' tasks were in line with the overall goals of our team. At times when others speak, he may ask to repeat for clarity, which not just assisted only the individual understand the task better, but the entire team now understand what was happening and how information is to be obtained and structured so that it became more effective. Anna naturally became our informal leader. We never said who was a leader, but from understanding and feeling the group, she naturally became the leader as she was friendly and outspoken and combined with her understanding of the bigger picture and critical problem solving capabilities. She motivated members to become innovative, to bring in their research in which she would align and edit to meet verification requirements with the assessment rubric. Anna has taken up the responsibility to create a Google document and a PowerPoint slide worksheet in which each member would transfer their task obligation. This information would be processed by her for submission. Travis, which is me, did not attempt to record minutes nor create a group meeting, which suggests a lack of technical and leadership interest. However, research gathering and fulfilling obligation were noted. There were one incidents where another member was more interested in a task that I had before, and I I didn't give it up, but I saw it as a new opportunity to work on something else. So we did it to fulfill the task, and everybody brought the information forward. Because of the diversity within our team, with individual strength and weakness being attracted to specific job design, this added to the success of our venture fulfillment in completing our group project. Diversity within the groups are definitely important, as we realize, and having the necessary knowledge, skills, and abilities and motivation to overcome challenges towards our goal. And now I just move on to the conclusion. Can we go on to the conclusion? Thank you. It can be concluded that the possibilities and opportunities of using our knowledge and skills as a business psychologist are limitless. You will have the opportunity to help others by providing the leadership needed to meet the objectives. You will also be able to establish and maintain the ideal culture within an organization and ultimately to be able to help individuals and groups navigate through various challenges. Your knowledge and skills while working as a business psychologist can provide you an opportunity to be an invaluable to any organization. Thanks very much. I hope this project has informed you as much as it has helped us out to understand the world of business psychology. Thank you.
Thank you.